It's Friday. You know what that means. Whatever you want to talk about, it's up to you. No problem. All you got to do is call in 424-227-9461. We have open phones just for you, waiting for you to call. Talk about whatever you want to talk about. Good morning, good afternoon, Roshan. What's up, buddy? We should talk over the weekend. I've been meaning to get back to you, by the way, and I've just been so crazy busy here at the Radio Ranch. Hope all is well with you. Roshan Vance, one of the greatest air personalities I've ever heard, and just a great guy. Haven't seen him in a long time. So, yeah, let's talk over the weekend, partner. Welcome. How's everyone? How you doing, Carol?
Am I on?
Sure you are.
I was just, remember I was telling you about this. The other day I told you about this baby that fell down.
Yeah, the elevator shaft?
Yeah, but I read further the news story that came out. The mother fell too.
Wow.
They fell 6 stories.
Jeez.
But what gets me is slumlords.
Yep.
It had 50 violations, and it had violations on that elevator. And people
boy.
after were saying that people that lived there, because she was visiting her grandmother,
Right.
they were saying that there were many times the elevator wasn't there, but they lived there. So, but I mean, was that elevator not shut down?
Exactly.
I mean, because when she fell, luckily, some people could hear her crying, but the baby died, a little 6-week-old baby.
Oh my God.
So I hope this slumlord.
So let me get this right. I assume the elevator door opened up and they just stepped in.
Yeah, well, I do the same thing. If you're going to push in, and she didn't notice that the floor wasn't there.
The elevator.
And when they
there,
went, I think she fell 6 stories, six
Oh
or
my
7,
God.
and it was 23 floors up, I think. So she went 6 stories down,
Oh
but
my
it
goodness.
killed the baby.
Oh.
But then when I read further, I seen all these violations on this
The
building.
building. Yeah.
So it's like,
Mm.
why would they not have been made to repair that?
You're right. And this is where in Brooklyn, New York?
I don't know if it was Brooklyn. Is Coney Island in Brooklyn?
No, Coney Island is Coney Island.
I've heard different things, but I think it was Coney Island.
That's so sad. And for people who own properties and you don't take care of and abide by the safety rules and take care of your property properly, yeah, that's horrible, man. And it's loss of life. Now the mother survived, right?
The mother survived. She was
Yeah.
hurt.
Yeah, she
But
had
I
to
mean,
be.
that was just a 6-week-old baby. So imagine
Boy,
a
I got
fall like
chills
that.
from that.
And
Just
the
thinking
baby
about it.
was in a stroller. That's frightening, because they knew this elevator was bad. It had been, he was supposed to fix the elevators
Yeah,
in the building.
that guy's done. Whoever owns that building is finished.
It doesn't even matter. He's done. She's lost her child.
Yeah,
A
no question.
21-year-old girl lost her little baby.
That's
over
horrible.
this.
That is just unimaginable.
And it's billed as an affordable housing.
You can't afford to stay there.
No, actually, it's affordable housing, and it's in a really nice area, because we have those out here too for older people.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think she was visiting her grandmother.
Oh, that's horrible.
So it really is.
That is unimagincible.
And then
in this
did you
day
see
and time.
where the little boy, I don't know if they got hit by the semi, but the father got killed. The car blew up, or the little boy, 5-year-old boy, dragged his 2-year-old brother out of that. He saved his brother.
Hero? Yeah,
A 5-year-old.
yeah. God bless him.
So it shows you a lot of these kids are very smart.
Yeah, no, kids are very intuitive and realize what's going on, and they react a lot faster than some of us old farts. You got Roshan crying. He says, "Thanks, you're going to make me cry." Yeah.
Well, I mean,
it's so sad.
It's wrong. I mean, why
It
do you
is.
not? You see, I mean, like even with the health department, anything, you go back to inspect. It's the same thing with these social workers. They'll
Yep.
put a kid right back into the house. But it's like recently there's a gentleman, and he said many times the baby's been out in the street. So I think it was a couple weeks ago or something. He heard the little kid crying, And he's stuck on the fence with was it a rope or something around his neck? He made
Oh my.
sure he took a picture for these social workers so they couldn't, with their lazy asses, ignore it, because we've had numerous kids die because social workers do not follow up. They go ahead and like the little boy out here, was it in Palmdale, Lancaster?
Mm-hmm.
They tortured that child. They
Yeah. Yeah.
literally tortured him. And that boy shouldn't have had to die. Teachers reported it, and they continue to put him in that home.
You know, anytime you do anything, especially to a child like that, an innocent child or an animal, pet, I have no sympathy, no understanding, no respect for anyone that would do something like that. I mean, even towards an adult, just like the ice cream man here in the
Oh,
L.A.
that's
area.
horrible.
71 years old, been out there 30 years selling ice cream, in the streets, pushing one of those little refrigerator boxes. And somebody beat him up yesterday for like 80 some bucks. I mean, this guy's face is all bruised up and cut on his forehead, eyes red, the white part of your eyes all red. I mean, it looks like something in a monster movie, beaten up so badly. And there's a GoFundMe. His family wants him to retire, get off the streets. And the average day for the guy is like $30, $40. And that day, apparently, he was doing a great day. He had 80 what was it, $84 or something.
84.
I mean, come on. What kind of freaking animal would beat
Well,
up an old man out there selling ice cream?
well, look at the kids
That's sick.
from USC, the young girl they just tried. They killed that Chinese kid out of fun, thinking it was
No,
funny. Well,
that's
she's going to prison for life, I hope. I
good.
mean, he managed to make it home and die. And there was 4 of them that did it. 4. She was 16 at the time.
Wow.
So
That's some
there's
sick ass people in this
well, there's
world.
a lot of sick people. I don't know if
Yeah.
you've seen this the other day, because I'm an animal person, and they got the video of the man. They're going to catch him. There was this little pit bull living on the streets, and maybe he got lost or something. You see the man pick him up and throw him over a cliff.
Mm.
But somebody seen it and saved the dog. But it's like, what do you get out of that? Somebody will pick your fat ass up and throw you over the cliff.
There you go. Good afternoon, Charles Mitchell. What's up, buddy? Yeah, well, we're trying to do the best we can here at the Power of Voices, trying to let voices be heard and do our thing. Thank you for your comments there on Facebook Live. We are on Facebook Live, YouTube. Just go in there and search on YouTube for The Lee Michaels Show, and you'll find us. We're in 2 locations on my iRadio Coach channel, as well as the Power of Voices .com channel on YouTube, and on Facebook. We're all over the place there as well. Also, you can go to our website and listen to our audio feed at thepowerofvoices.com. Also, you can download our app and install it on your phone, Android or Apple. We got you covered. Just go in there and search The Power of Voices, and you can download it and take us with you wherever you go. And we're here live Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. Pacific time. That's noon Midwest, and on the East Coast, 1 p.m. We're on for 2 hours. And today is Open Phone Friday, whatever you want to talk about. We've kind of opened up and talked about some crazy-ass people that are doing criminal things to young people, and the poor, unfortunate mother and her child that fell 6 floors in a elevator shaft in a building that's not well maintained, and all kind of 50-some violations against the building,
50.
and recent violation against the elevator itself.
Yeah, people said that that live there, that they don't just jump in. They've seen it where it doesn't come up.
Yeah, that's
And
that's
I mean,
nuts.
a lot of people would have did the same thing. You just push your kid in, and they went down.
Well, yeah, you got to be more alert. I mean, I hope she wasn't on a cell phone talking and not paying
I
attention.
don't think so. I mean,
That's
I don't always look.
I do. I'm not going to. When that door opens up, I want to know that there's something there. And typically, I mean, if there's no elevator there, it's got to be dark. So you're not going to walk into a dark, room.
I don't know. I'm not going to put no blame on the young girl. I
Well,
feel
I'm not putting blame on anybody. I'm just telling people to be cautious. You got to pay attention. You know, don't be so quick to move into an elevator like that. You got to pay attention. That's all I'm saying. I'm not putting blame on anybody, but I can see how that could happen, especially in our rapid pace life that we all lead now. It's you got to be careful.
yeah, I'm just surprised how they are starting to beat up on older people. I've seen so much
Well,
of
it's
that
easy
lately.
prey. See, they figure old people can't defend themselves, so they're cowards. Anybody that does anything like that is a freaking coward,
Because I seen one day on a subway. But what I liked, this guy jumped up and decked that guy so fast
right?
that was picking on the older person.
Well, that's good. There are a few heroes out there, people that are conscious, but you might pick on the wrong senior one day too, and get your
Well,
butt
that
handed to
has
you.
happened. Remember
Yeah,
when they were doing that thing where they were coming up and it was called knockout game, these kids?
yeah.
And remember they did that to this older lady
Mm-hmm.
and then ran? Well, she had a gun in her purse.
Yeah.
I think she killed two of those kids.
Well, that's what
And
happens,
nobody cared. I know
right?
I didn't.
I'm sitting here drinking this coffee this morning, and we ran out of coffee creamer, and I had some almond milk in the refrigerator. Almond milk and coffee, not quite cutting it, but I thought I'd try it. It's kind of flat. It's not cutting it. Ah, I drink generally 1 cup of coffee a day, and sometimes I'll go for months and not have any. But it just seems like before I do a show, it's kind of like help warms up the vocal cords, and I guess it's like a cigarette after sex. What do you think? You
Did you
remember when
did you
people
used to
used to do
smoke?
that?
Did you used to
I
smoke?
did. I did smoke, but I haven't had a cigarette since 1981. And people used to do that. I remember you laying there in bed, you light up. That was good. And I think we all got that from the movies, you know? Was that silly? What's up, Mr. Stevens? Ron Fell, welcome to the show. Gerard Stevens. Yeah, I mean, anybody that used to smoke back in the 60s and 70s, after you have sex, you just kind of lay back in bed. You light one up and you pass a cigarette to your mates. You want to hit this, baby? How silly was that, huh? You never smoked, though, huh, Carol? Or
I
did you?
I held a cigarette and pretended I did.
Oh, okay. You were just, it was a cosmetic
Yeah,
thing,
I
huh?
have asthma, so.
Yeah, that's no good.
But then
Just
people
being
go,
around
well,
smoke would be
they go,
good.
well, you smoked weed.
That's different, huh?
I guess I thought it was.
By the way, Gerard, I've been checking you out, bro. Good show. I like what you're doing. Nice, real nice. Now, Ron Fell, you're talking about a great radio guy. That would be one right there. And you guys gotta follow Ron Fell on Facebook. He's clever, you know. He writes some very interesting things, especially on politics. He and I agree on everything politically. That's my man. Jocelyn, what's going on? But yeah, you got to follow him. He's an editor in his own right, radio personality. Used to run the Gavin Report for all my radio buddies. You guys remember that, I'm sure. He's one of the owners of the Gavin Report after Bill Gavin sold it to Ron and his partners. What was it, about 8 of you, right, Ron? And I worked there as a general manager. It was a lot of fun. A lot of fun. The publishing is not an easy task. I remember those days, man. Every week you got to crank out another magazine. And it was a grind, a real grind. I remember every one of the editors of the different departments of the magazine would pass around their articles and make sure it was all the spelling was correct and grammar and all of that.
Who's Lynn?
Lynn? Who's Lynn? What do you mean, who's Lynn?
Well, I'm looking at. You said it's open mic. It's open mic Friday with Lee and Carol. Call Lynn
Oh, okay.
at 424.
I don't know.
You put that.
Did I say call Lynn?
Yeah.
I said it should have been call in.
Oh, and I'm like, who's
Yeah.
Lynn?
Lynn is the phone turkey. The answer's
Maybe
the
it's
phone.
a ghost. My cat, I think, has a ghost friend. Remember, I was telling you
Yeah,
that? 'Cause
yeah. I don't believe in no ghosts.
he'd be chasing it and playing with it. And I'm like, what is he playing with? And he'll be meowing at it. And I'm like,
Yeah, yeah. Payroll was no fun. When you're running your own business, you got to meet that payroll on a weekly or bi-weekly or monthly basis. It's no joke. You know, running a business, man, is a lot of responsibility. All the supplies that you need, you got to pay the rent to the office, your payroll, your liability insurance. You know, you got to cover all those expenses before you make a profit.
no, I've noticed a lot of people with businesses now,
Mm-hmm.
they don't take out taxes with their employees.
Well, then they're not employees.
Well,
They're contract.
uh-huh,
employers,
So
yeah.
that's why they do it like that.
Yeah, and that's kind of a little edgy in terms of how you do that because
Yeah.
with the new tax laws, at least my understanding of it, excuse me, that if someone is in your facility working 8 hours a day, it's kind of hard to say that they're a contract employee.
Yeah, because they do that. Remember, I told you I just got this girl a job.
Yeah,
And I said, she's taking your, she said, no, she just gives me the check. She don't take taxes out. I go, but you're an employee.
yeah.
That didn't make sense to me. I could see it if she was on commission or something, but
Well,
she's not.
there's some pluses and minuses to that, of course. I mean, you get 100% of your earnings, but then you're 100% responsible for the taxes on it. You know, you got to pay a less. Now they're paying them in a check.
In a check.
Uh-huh.
So I
Well,
told her,
that's-
you're going to pay
that's
taxes
traceable.
on that. I
Yep.
go, so
Yeah, you're
I
supposed to
think you
report
should
that as
tell her
income.
you want her to take it out every week.
Right. Plus, you're not unless you're paying personally into the Social Security, you're not going to get that benefit when you retire. So,
Oh, you don't want Uncle Sam. I'm sure this woman, if she's doing that, is going to, 1090 her.
yeah. See, like my buddy Ron Feld, he made so much money. He's probably doing about $15,000 a month in Social Security. See?
Don't they have
He's
a limit
fat.
on it?
No, I don't think there's any limit.
Oh, I thought there was a limit.
Well, it's a limit in terms of how much you pay into it, if I remember correctly, on a paycheck by paycheck basis. But that floats with the amount of money that you make. If I'm thinking now, I may be wrong on that. But the longer you work, certainly the more you pay into it, and certainly the more you earn, the more they take out of your paycheck to pay into Social Security. But yeah, my buddy Ron Feld, he is so wealthy, he forgot about the money that he made. He's got money all over the place, different
Well, I hope
countries.
the IRS isn't listening and you're going to get your friend in trouble.
The IRS, they won't pay me any attention, man. They know I have no credibility in what I'm saying. But listen, I want to talk about some things that people need to be aware of. There's a number of scams going around, okay? And I've just run into one, and I'm turning it over to the Federal Bureau of Investigation. And it's here on Facebook. They're claiming they've got some grant money that they're going to give you. But you got to send them money, wire them some money first, and then they'll send you cash via UPS. Now, please, folks, don't go for that. That is one of the oldest scams of all time. Okay? So do not go for it. I got a message from a friend on Facebook that says that they got $250,000 cash delivered to them by UPS. Now, come on, folks. That in itself, you got to say, that makes no sense. That makes no sense. It's not going to happen that way. Who's going to send you $250,000 cash UPS. But you got to send them $750 for some kind of transfer fee or something crazy like that. Yeah, that is a scam. Exactly. And I got a message from Warren Lanier yesterday. Now, some of you might know who Warren is. He was a Facebook friend of mine, and he was saying that he got it. I got my money. But I think what they've done is hijack Warren's Facebook page and sending messages out, and he's not aware of it. So, folks, be careful. Don't go for the okadoke. It may sound good, may look good, may sound real official, but it's not. Yep. Yeah, Ron is saying about the most that you can get is in the mid $3,000 a month.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. I guess you got to make a lot of money in order to get to that point. Yeah, exactly, Ron. That's what I told him. I told him to take the $750 out of the $250. Or no, what I told him, I said, send me the $250 and I'll send you the $750. In fact, I'll do one better. I'll send you $1,500.
Yeah, but some people fall for that.
I know they do.
Look at the people when they sent them money and said, we want you to deposit this. We're giving you this. And
yeah.
They did it, and it did go through, but then they turn around and
suck all the money out of your account. Yep. So there's all kind of clever scams out there.
Well,
so
there was
please
one
be careful.
yesterday that I think the owner of Facebook was going to give away $45 million last night at midnight, and
no, that's probably connected to the same
each person
thing.
was going to get $4 million. I thought about it. I said, let me share that.
Yeah, well, this particular scam that I'm talking about, it claims to be associated with Facebook, and it's they claim to be in the UK, but they're probably in some other third world country. Anytime you wire some money, MoneyGram or whatever those money services are, the person who's going to receive that money can be anywhere in the world. You think you're sending it to New York City, and they may be in Nigeria.
Well, remember when the people called me and said that because Obama was giving out some money?
Yeah,
They told me
another one.
And when I called them back, they hung up on me.
And usually they're in a foreign tongue.
They were.
Yeah.
They were.
And I've got one from the IRS calling saying that I had a tax problem. So I know I don't, right? So I'm playing along with them. And I said, listen, first of all, don't ever call me again, because the Internal Revenue will never call you and say that you owe them money. What the Internal Revenue will do is seize your bank account and take the money. That's when you know the Internal Revenue is on your ass. They're not going to call you up. Because I had one encounter with an Internal Revenue agent. He came to my house, and I tried to break the door on his foot. And then I called his office up and told him, I said, you might want to come get this guy. He's hopping around in my yard claiming to be an Internal Revenue guy, but he might have a broken foot. But he tried to come into my house, and I told him no. So I slammed the door on him. Then I called my lawyer. I said, am I going to jail? He said, no, man, don't worry about it. I got you. So you got to be careful. Because some people, they're all kind of scammers out there, folks. Please be careful. The best thing to do is to say no. It may sound great, but just say no. All right?
I like that. Just say no.
Just say no. Just treat it like a drug. Speaking of which, what's wrong? What's up, Ron?
Hello there, Lee Michaels. How are you today?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm doing great, sir. I'm doing great. Thought about you. I said, let me call him up and see what he's up to.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ron Ellison, the world-famous Ron Ellison, on the phone with us today. Where are you calling us from? It's got a lot of static in there with you.
Oh, have I? I'll change phones and call you on another phone.
10-4. That'll be good. Yeah, Ron Ellison, not Ron Fell. Ron, you can call in as well. 424-227-9461. It'd be great to hear your golden voice on the radio. He's a radio guy. And I love his politics. All right, let's try it again.
Is this any better?
That is much better.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Happy Friday.
Well, it was beautiful. Now the static is coming back. Maybe it's on our end. I don't know. Oh, happy Friday to you, Ron. How you been?
I don't hear any static.
No?
I don't hear no
It's
static.
probably just on my end then.
Okay, I'm
Did
sorry.
I trip on a cord again?
Yeah, you probably did it.
I do.
I'm
You
going
would
to blame
think
it on
I
you
was
anyway.
clumsy, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what you up to today, you all?
Well, we're just sitting here. It's open mic Friday, whatever you want to talk about. So if you got something you want to gripe about, or you got something fun to talk about, or whatever, it's just kind of loose on Fridays.
I don't have anything that I'm upset about. There are always things that all of us are concerned about. But I got to tell you, and I know you've already talked about this, I thought Michelle Obama yesterday was absolutely
She nailed it, didn't she?
Oh, man, she put it on the wall.
Yes, she did.
Yes, she did.
She is so good at explaining and laying out. She's a great storyteller.
She's an intelligent.
Yes, she is.
She got it on all levels.
If she was a candidate, I think she would win.
I think she gonna be a candidate.
I don't know, man. I think we all would like to see that,
Well,
but I don't think she wants that.
So maybe
now.
we'll have 2 women presidents
Back to back.
back to back.
Ooh.
but you know what? I understand. I don't. You saying you don't think she wants it because I can imagine. I have no idea, but I can imagine 8 years in that building that they've been in for the last 8 years. She needs a rest
Yes.
because there's got to be a lot of tension in that job.
Oh,
for
yeah.
Her
Absolutely.
husband and her.
Absolutely.
So she needs a rest. And to give Hillary 8 years, then here she comes.
Right?
She got it though, boy. She got everything. She's intelligent.
She has the charisma, and
Yeah.
she's intelligent, to say the least.
Uh-huh.
And, being there in the White House and the wife to the president, she's got to have learned a lot.
Oh,
And certainly she would have one of the best presidential advisors, her husband.
Right.
But that, it'll be interesting to see if they want to stay in that life.
Okay.
I think that's a special person who wants to be under that microscope all the time.
Didn't he just buy a place in Rancho Mirage, Obama?
I think I did hear
Yeah.
that.
But you mean over here in California?
Yeah,
Yeah.
by Palm Springs,
By-
Rancho
yeah.
Mirage.
Yes, ma'am. You're right. You're
He's
right.
going to like that.
I know they're gonna love it because I went to their house in Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
I grew up in Chicago, so they lived in Hyde Park.
That's right.
They could never go back to that house
No.
because not that it's a bad house, it's a really nice house, but that area they come from is just too much traffic. If he comes out
Yeah.
to go to the store,
Yeah.
he's gonna cause a traffic jam.
And he's going to have guards out in front of the house and all that for the rest of his life. So
Right.
it's kind of hectic and a little unfair on the people in the neighborhood as well.
There you go.
You
You're
know,
right.
because it is a real close-knit neighborhood. The
Yeah.
houses, it's not like it's sitting on 5 acres of land that, your nearest neighbors several
you're right up
thousand
on,
feet away.
You're right
Yeah,
up on your nearest neighbor.
exactly.
And he don't need to be there. You're right. So, ma'am, you are right. They bought that.
Hmm.
I don't think it's a house. It's like a mansion kind of.
Yeah, there's some beautiful homes
Yeah,
out
it's a
there.
large house. I've been by it.
Okay.
Hmm.
Beautiful homes.
Yep. Yeah,
Beautiful.
Hyde Park is a nice neighborhood.
My
Oh,
sister
it-
just bought a place there.
Yeah, in Hyde Park.
No, in Rancho Mirage.
Oh, okay. Well, now,
Your
where is that? Is
sister
that
did?
north of here?
No, it's in outside of Palm Springs. It's
Outside of-
actually part of Palm Springs.
Oh, is
really.
it? Oh,
Well,
that's-
that's how I look at it. It's all the same.
Yeah, it's too hot for me.
It's hot, but if you got the kind of house they got, you ain't got to worry about no heat with them air conditioners.
Not that kind of heat, huh?
No.
Ron Fell saying he's flying today, so Ron, safe travels.
Okay.
Uh,
Thank you.
Not you,
Oh.
Ron Fell,
Oh.
up in San Francisco. Ron used to be one of the owners of the Gavin Report. You remember the Gavin?
Do I remember it? I sure do.
Yeah, you probably spent dollars with the
I
Gavin.
spent dollars.
What was the Gavin?
It was a radio industry publication.
Oh.
Right.
Yeah,
And they
industry magazine.
and industry magazine, radio and artists
That's right.
and music.
Radio and records. Yep.
Yeah, it was
Mhm.
a very, those magazines like that. We in the music part, you're in the radio part. We in
Right.
the music part. We depended on those magazines because
Yeah, that was our source of information.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now it's all online.
Yes. Yes.
You know what was cool was Ron and his partners. Well, they bought it from Bill Gavin. Then they sold it to a European company. I think it was out of England.
Okay.
And so Ron and his partners, they made a bunch of money.
Oh, but that's good though.
Yeah, they did
Now,
well.
out of all those magazines we used to live by, the only
Yeah.
one left is Billboard.
Yeah, yeah. Radio and records is gone.
And do people buy billboards like they used to?
The
Yes,
magazine,
ma'am.
buy ads in it.
No, do they buy it? Yeah, ads too.
Subscriptions.
I
you
don't know.
mean?
I haven't
Yes.
seen a billboard, and I don't know when.
Oh, I get them every month.
Yeah.
I get them at my house every month.
So it's monthly now, not a weekly publication.
Correct.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I haven't seen one in I probably 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, yeah. Well, all those magazines, R&B Report, remember that?
Yep.
Jerry Bolding and Miller London.
Yep.
Yeah, they.
Black Radio exclusive.
Oh yeah, that was pretty.
There are a few online now. All Access is probably the big gun still.
Mhm.
That's a pretty credible publication. They've expanded over the years. They've done a great job.
I think it's technology that changes changed.
Sure.
But also, Lee, a lot of those people that we knew who were running those organizations
Mm-hmm.
ain't here no more.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, it's just a change. We're fortunate to be here to witness it.
Absolutely. Yeah, we've been through some great times in the music and radio business.
Oh boy.
We've seen a lot of changes, a lot of new stuff happen.
Yeah.
Some good, some not so good, I think.
Uh-huh.
Don't you think there's too many award shows though now?
On TV,
Yeah.
You could say too many, but I understand from the other perspective is we got too many channels. They got so much stuff. They,
Yeah.
we got, as far as I'm concerned, we got too many news channels. But they got to do something with them TV channels. So
yeah,
that's why they-
content.
Huh?
It's all about content.
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause yesterday I couldn't get away from the news. Time I turned the channel, they were doing this where Trump's all angry. I go, why are we keep putting him on TV?
Man.
Well, he's running to be the president, so they got to cover him, and he knows that, and he knows how to be ridiculous
Yeah.
without spending money. So they'll keep the microphones and cameras on him.
I don't think he's going to do the next debate deal because they mentioned he might. He says
Oh,
isn't
he'll
doing
show
it.
up. His
He'll show
ego's
up.
too big to not to show up.
And not only that, let me tell you, this is me. Now, this is me personally. I think he got a rabbit up his sleeve. Even if he don't be president, he's going to be on all the TV shows. He's going to write a book. He's going to make.
I have his first book.
Well, I think you're right. He's going to attempt to parlay this into something beneficial to himself because he's a self-serving jerk. So, and a lot of people are speculating that he and Roger Ailes
Mhm.
will get together and start another network.
They already got the network, don't they?
I don't know. I'm not sure of that.
I had heard that they had the network, but they are not going to put it out yet, of course.
Waiting for the outcome of the race? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that makes sense.
Uh-huh. And see, I tell you, we can say what we want to say about this guy, but here's a guy that his father left him $1 million, then his father left him 6 buildings in
Mhm.
New York and Queens, and he's turned that almost $1 billion into $3 billion. You ain't no dummy if you do that. I don't care how you look at it.
Well, no question. I mean, he read the tea leaves and did some things right and parlayed it into, whatever he has.
Uh-huh.
And he's to be commended for that. But along the way, my dad used to say, well, son, you can get from here to there, but how you get there is important also.
Exactly.
And if you along the way, you go from 0 to 100 and you crap on everybody along the way, you're a nasty mofo. You know, you're just a low down, dirty dog.
Well, he's a shrewd businessman.
Well, you can color it to make it sound and feel better, but he's a rascal. He's a criminal.
Okay, now I'll go with the rascal. Because
Criminals do stuff like that, man.
I
Come
mean,
on, hijacking people, don't pay their bills.
Yeah.
Now, Ron,
Yeah.
you're a contractor,
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah.
Now, you have to pay your vendors, right?
it's important.
Yeah, your subcontractors that come in to do various jobs, whether it's an electrician or plumber, whatever, a carpenter.
Oh, no question.
And eventually, if you don't pay these people, guess what? You're not going to be able to get anybody to work with you.
Not only that, Lee, on top of that, and I know this, on top of that, it's wrong. It's wrong.
It is wrong.
I really believe this. In my lifetime, I work real hard to do what I do and make money, and then I could make more money, but if I have to sell drugs to make more money, I don't want more money.
Right.
I can live pretty good like I'm living, and I just want to move. And when I work with people, I want to have a good relationship, and I want to walk away with a clean mind, knowing that I didn't stab them in the back.
Exactly. You can sleep at night, know that you're a fair business person. That's all I try to be, is fair.
Yes.
You know?
Because you don't want, to me, if you do it, then you deserve it to happen to you.
That's right. And it
ain't-
will come back. And I think that's what he's getting now. All that bad karma and all that, jackleg stuff he's been doing for years.
Yeah.
And I feel for the people that he's taking advantage of.
Of course, 'cause he ran them out of business.
Yeah, I heard he's got like 4,060-some lawsuits going on right now.
Yes, he's a lawsuit king.
Yeah.
And a bankrupt king.
6 times.
You don't need this guy to be no president.
He thinks he can run the government the same way. What a joke.
He's gonna make this
Yeah, but
country-
sometimes these kind of people purposely go bankrupt
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
just to not have to pay. Because I've had clients like that. I mean, they're on their way to prison. I don't know if they're man. I haven't seen them, but
You
Well,
can call
ma'am.
them
and I
ex-clients.
mean, Milliken, isn't that what he did? The bonds person.
Yeah.
And all these people that were clients of mine were all friends of his. And one of them, he did go to prison, and his was bankruptcy fraud. And then a couple of years ago, I had another client. Her husband was bankruptcy fraud.
Well, when you do
And
it
they
in,
still have all this money. That's the joke.
yeah, when you do it the wrong way, I mean, bankruptcy in itself is legal. It's okay to file bankruptcy. It's not against the
But they'll
If you
file
have to.
against the business
Yeah,
and
yeah.
the pensions and something. Because
right.
I know this one's did that. And what was funny about it was they don't mind going to prison for that because it's a federal prison, which I heard is like a luxury hotel.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So
I
hey,
don't
they
know.
could give up 2 years because I had one, and I swear on this because Michael Jackson used to ask me. He literally had a hair transplant put on his head, someone else's scalp.
Uh-huh.
And I'd look at it because his wife was my client, and I tried to look at it and figure out, does it grow? But I wondered when he went to prison, did they shave it off? And I was telling Michael this. He goes, find out who the doctor is. But it wasn't a U.S. doctor. It was some over. But he really had a dead person's scalp put on his head.
No kidding.
No, I'm very serious.
Wow. That's deep.
And they were
Transplant.
so wealthy from all because they always say to make money you got to be a good thief and smart.
Yeah.
You have to be legal and illegal. And they had dry cleaners, their own dry cleaner on their property. It was a trip. But when all this went down, she would call me scared. She goes, what do? I said, well, first of all, if you want to keep your jewelry, you better get it out of that house.
Well, the key to being a criminal is to never get caught. You keep getting away with it.
Oh, man. Yeah, I wouldn't want to walk around with that on my head.
No, not at all. But that's the smart criminal, the guy that gets away forever, never get caught for doing something wrong. But those are few and far between. When you live that life, man, eventually they're going to get you.
Sooner or later, you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
I never wanted to do it.
No. See, I'm too chicken. I don't have the guts for it.
And see, the other thing is, Lee, I don't like. I've never done it, but I don't like jail. The thought of being in jail don't
And
turn
locked
me
up.
on.
No. No.
And it's funny too. I think about it. I watch a lot of my clients, and these women aren't happy. Most of the time, where I see them in their huge bathrooms that are probably as big as my whole condo. And
Mm-hmm.
I have one client, I don't think she ever leaves that bathroom. I think
Really?
no.
What she look like?
Well, I offered
She must be real
I
clean.
offered Lee something, and he thought I was kidding. I'm not going to discuss it
Where
on
she
radio,
at?
but
Where
I
she
offered
at?
him something, and he turned it down. He thought I was playing, but I wasn't.
Yeah, she tried to hook me up with
No,
a,
no, 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 no.
tried to hook me up with an old rich woman.
No,
Nah.
she's not old, but
She's not old? Oh, okay, okay.
but it's funny. I noticed this with a lot of them. They're very unhappy.
Yeah.
Like this, one of them, her husband controls them. And I said, "Wait a minute, this is California, honey. Don't let him tell you what you can spend because you go to divorce money, half that money's going to leave with you.
Yeah.
So
And most
you
states
gotta
are like
set,
that.
You got to set him straight, and then he'll quit putting you on this budget.
Well, he might be able to control her to a certain degree while they're married, but after, you file that divorce in California and most states now, it's a 50-50 split.
Well, you know what, too, where people like Geddes are smart,
Mm-hmm.
they keep that in a trust.
Well,
So
Yeah.
when a woman marries one of them, because they were my clients too,
Mhm.
you're not walking with the house. I can guarantee you that, the mansion. They make sure it stays in Gordon and Ann's name.
And they usually,
Yeah.
if they're already rich, they usually get married with conditions. You got to sign
Yeah.
this contract,
Exactly.
otherwise
A
I ain't
prenup.
marrying you.
That's
a
right.
prenup. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because one of them, when she was divorced and she thought she was going to, they shut the cards down. She was running them. All of a sudden, the cards were shut down.
Yeah. Frankie just tuned in here to Facebook Live. We're talking about any and everything, Frankie. It's Open Phone Friday, whatever you want to talk about. And we have a good friend of mine, Ron Ellison, former music expert, executive, and just a great friend, and happens to be a pilot. Are you doing any flying this weekend?
No, not this weekend because I'm going to this. Well, let me get it right. It's on Crenshaw Boulevard.
Yeah, the
But-
food thing.
Yes.
We're going to that too, I think, aren't
Yeah.
we?
When are you going over there?
Saturday, tomorrow.
Okay.
All right. Now on King Drive, at the Beverly Center,
Mm-hmm.
right there, they're going to put up a stage on King Drive
Okay.
where they're going to be performing. You know, you can't drive over there. You got to walk.
Right.
Well, my friend Reggie, who is also a pilot, he is putting on a show on a stage right there at that spot I'm talking about, and they're going to do a gospel show,
Okay.
then a blues show.
Is that on at Crenshaw Mall?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Crenshaw Mall.
Well, Lee, put on your walking shoes and we'll
Yeah,
walk.
we'll go over there.
Right, right. It's
What
gonna
time is
be-
that going to kick off?
Well, the gospel show kicks off at 10 o'clock, and then the blues show kicks off at 1 o'clock,
Okay.
and then the R&B show kicks off at 3 o'clock, and they're going to close down at 6.
Now, you
isn't
going to have the girls
Allen's,
on there?
I think Debbie Allen's kids are dancing at it too.
They are, yes, ma'am.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what I
And
heard.
matter of fact, ma'am, it's 3 stages, so it's going to be plenty activity.
Wow, nice.
And
You're going to have
one-
the girls out there?
Yes.
Oh, I'm coming just for that.
Yeah.
I don't care about none of that other stuff, but Uncle Lee's going to be in the house.
Okay.
Yeah,
they go
I
on
gotta
at
support
3
them.
o'clock. At 3 o'clock in the Crenshaw Mall, right there at King Drive, in the way. I mean, when I say in the way, right in the middle of King Drive, they
Mhm.
close the street off. right?
Wow, nice.
Oh yeah, and then from that area up to Rodeo,
Okay.
down Crenshaw,
Right.
there's going to be what do you call these things where people are selling goods, selling shirts, and selling
Yeah.
Oh,
sandwiches?
vendors.
Vendors. A little,
Yes,
yeah,
ma'am.
Yeah.
all up and down there.
And food, too, right?
Oh, yeah,
yeah.
that's what it is. Isn't
Yeah,
it
I'm
tasty
coming
food, too?
I'm coming to see. Now,
Oh.
what's the name of the group again?
And don't eat no food before you go there, 'cause there's going to be plenty of all kinds
Oh,
of
yeah,
food.
no question.
You know,
What's it?
True addiction.
True Addiction.
TRU. Yeah.
Well,
Drop
folks,
the E off the true. Huh?
Okay. True Addiction.
Yeah.
You got to come out and see these girls. They're
So
awesome.
now are they going to have shuttles anywhere by there, like on La Brea? Or because
Yes,
I live
ma'am.
in Culver City.
Well, you could.
I could walk that far, but I don't think Lee could handle it.
What makes you think I can?
Because you never want to get up and walk.
I don't want to, but I can. Who
I'll
the
have
hell
to-
wants to
I'll
walk
have to
82
piggyback-
miles?
I'll have to piggyback him back.
Well, if I get tired, I'll just get on your back.
No, actually, we could take a Uber.
Yeah,
know
we
what?
can do that.
I've got now that's lady. That's the move right there.
Right.
Yeah.
Get an Uber, and then you don't have to worry about parking your
No,
car and going
no.
back to get it.
But you
No.
know what? A lot of people that don't know that area do not walk into the jungle.
No.
Because
You
if
want
you
to stay out
don't
of the
live
jungle.
there, you don't go in there.
That's right.
On the Crenshaw ain't the jungle.
No,
No.
the jungle's just before
Behind that, yeah. Yeah,
Right,
Yeah.
right.
I had a friend one night. She was driving us. I said, "What the hell are you doing?
Ron don't know nothing about the
And
jungle.
she
He lives
said-
out in the valley.
What do you mean?" I said, "Get
Bob,
out of here
hey,
now."
Lee.
Huh?
Hey, Lee. I own an apartment building 6 blocks from
The jungle.
You know about the jungle, huh?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
He
Oh, I
knows
know
about
about
the
it.
jungle.
I know about it.
Hey, Darnita Rogers, how you doing? Are you still in the U.S. or are you back in Germany? Yeah, I miss Blab too, but, we're blabbing on Facebook Live now, so we just got to keep blabbing. The Blab is another system similar to Facebook Live, but it would allow 4 people to be on the screen at the same time in a video chat.
Oh,
But they didn't make it. They fell apart. Oh, okay. I'm glad you made it back to Germany safely. Your husband's doing fine? Yeah, because I know you were sick there for a while, but I've been following you on Facebook, and you've been out there singing and doing your thing. There's another incredible gospel singer. She can kill it. She can rock it.
I love Germany, Cologne, Germany.
I've never been there.
Beautiful.
Have you been there, Ron?
yes.
People are really in good shape, huh? Because they walk.
Yeah.
I
Almost
walk a lot. Yeah.
You don't see people driving.
Okay. Maybe I'll go over there and find my next wife.
Oh, jeez. What's that,
Okay.
38?
I don't know. Who's counting?
Right.
I can't keep track of how many. But it's all good. So, yeah, Ron, that sounds like fun. So the girls, are they going to kick off at 3 or are they going to be on that 3 o'clock set?
They're gonna be. Don't know. They're gonna kick off. They're gonna kick the set off.
Oh, okay. Well, we got to be there. We'll be
Oh,
there. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So I'll look out. I'll look for you.
It
Keep your
is
phone on so I can
I'll
call
be
you.
there. I'll keep my phone on.
Cool.
And let me tell you this,
Yeah.
because the lady, ma'am, I'm sorry, I keep calling you the lady. What's your name?
Carol.
He forgets to give my name.
Okay.
No, I don't.
Carol. Okay.
Or
Carol.
he locks me in here and won't let me out.
So what
Well, I'll
I'm
do
gonna
that.
do, what I'm gonna do is I have a cane with a seat on it, and you can walk with the cane.
I've seen those.
And then when you want to sit down, just pull up the seat and sit down on it.
Wow. How cool is that?
Yeah, it's good. It's nice. It's for this kind of a thing because
Right.
Carol is right. It's a lot of walking,
Well, I'm used to that. It's not a problem for me.
and it's a long way too. When you think about what's the name of that? It's not Slauson.
Crenshaw Boulevard?
That's the main one
Mhm.
from
Vernon?
Rodeo on the north.
Right.
And then you go back south to King. There's one big block further. There's a street. That's where it ends.
Okay.
Okay, so
So that's what, 6 or 8 blocks?
yes, 8 blocks.
That's not that bad.
No, not that
No.
you. Well, it's not that bad
It's
unless
going to
you
be
walk
packed,
slow.
though.
Well, see, Ron, I'm not as old as you, so I can do it.
That's a joke, but that's the truth.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Hey, it sounds like a joke, but it's the truth, buddy.
I'm not quite as old as Ron, but
No.
he's in good shape for a guy that's 95 years old.
No question. Hey, I thank God for every day.
No, he's not that old, folks.
Yes,
I'm just
I
messing
am.
with
I'm 76.
Well, that's not 95. I
No,
hope
it
you
ain't.
make it to be 95.
Boy, I do too. As long as I saw an article on TV the other day, 4 or 5 days ago, where they honored Kirk Douglas.
Yeah.
He's 102 years old.
Is he really?
Yes.
Wow.
Wow. I didn't know
Now-
Kurt was that old.
Yeah, he's 102. Now,
Damn.
that's a long time, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now, I
Is he
don't
in
mind-
pretty good shape still?
Well, he ain't jogging, but He's jogging, but his weight is down.
Uh-huh.
You know, he's old,
Right.
so he's moving slow. But he ain't. But as long as he ain't in no pain,
Right,
you're
right.
ahead of the game.
That's my thing. As long as I'm healthy and got my right mind,
Yeah,
I don't need the pins.
right.
It depends, or nurse to change me. Then I
Uh-huh.
want to live forever.
What
As
do you
long
mean
as you're not in
change you?
pain, and even if you don't walk, as long as you got a wheelchair and somebody to push you around.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I want to be pretty independent.
Yeah.
What was your question, Carol?
When you said change you mean like depends?
Yeah, I don't want no diaper on.
No, no. He didn't have no diaper on. Hey.
Unless the nurse is about 25. Like that's going to help me, right?
Oh no. It's a good mental therapy.
She could probably
mental
say a
massage.
prayer on you.
Yeah. If you can't do nothing, but look, you
Say, yeah, baby, I need to be changed again. Well, Mr. Michaels, I just changed you 10 minutes ago. So what?
Oh, so
Change
what?
me again.
I'm wet.
come change me again.
I mean,
but-
right now.
And bring some of that lotion with
Hey,
you.
that's right.
Because he has a
Y'all
rash.
nasty.
You have a rash. You need to be powdered.
You sounded like Donald Trump now, see?
Oh, no. Hey, did he get caught or did he
Woo,
get caught?
boy. He put both feet in that quicksand.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. And I'm
And
going to tell
had
you.
the nerve to tell one of those women, he said, I wouldn't have looked at her because she was ugly.
See that?
Oh, did you see that? Oh,
yeah,
man.
I thought, look at you. Look at how
Yeah.
could you call anybody ugly? Look at
Yeah,
I
really.
can't look at his mouth.
I
I get
know.
He's
sick.
putting his foot in his mouth.
Big time. But you know,
I'm
Ron,
glad, though. I'm really, really glad.
I've been saying from day one, there's no way possible he could win because he's offending everybody.
Now he's mad at the Jewish people.
Well, see, now that's a last straw right there.
He won't have a
You
station.
know to bring God down on it.
But them people, you know what though? Those people from the Mississippi River west, in them towns in Missouri, and
Uh-huh.
Oklahoma,
Yep.
and those kind of places, they love him.
Yeah, the rural areas.
Yes.
Because, they're just not
They want to
well
bring the old
informed.
South back.
What'd you say,
They
Carol?
want to bring the old South back where
Yeah.
where us
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
minorities are nothing to them and
Yeah.
they can hang us or do whatever they want.
Yep. Ron, did I lose you? Yeah, it's interesting. Every time he calls, we lose him like that. Maybe he'll call back.
You're gonna lose me now. I
Uh-oh.
have to go to work.
That's right. It's Friday. You got to go earn some
Don't
money.
forget you got your steamer in the freezer.
Steamer in the freezer. Okay. That sounds a little weird, but thank you very much. All right. Have a safe day. We'll see you, and we'll go down to the festival tomorrow. Cool. All right. No problem. I'm ready. So, Ron, I don't know what happened, so call back if anyone else would like to tune in or call in, rather. 424-227-9461. And I tell you what. Well, there he is. I think he's calling back in, or somebody is. Yeah, it's Ron. Okay, you back?
I got hung up on.
No, man, I didn't do nothing. You just every time you call, you drop out like that. It's just like boom, you're gone.
I didn't mean to do it.
Yeah. Well, Carol's leaving me, so she's got to go out and do a project. She works for
Carol?
the FBI. Yeah,
Nice talking to you, Carol.
she told me to tell you bye. She's already gone.
Oh, she's already gone?
Yeah,
Now,
she's
wait
just
a minute. Now, she's the
She-
FBI?
well, I don't know what she does. I have no idea. She claims she goes out and does hair projects. I don't know.
For the FBI?
I don't know, man. I have no idea.
Oh, you was just kidding. Okay.
I don't know.
I'm like, FBI, let me hang up right now.
Yeah, she's worked with all kind of celebrities doing hair and stuff like that.
Oh,
So
that's the kind of lady she is.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
okay. I know this guy who's a keyboard player, excellent keyboard player named Kevin Tony.
yeah, I know Kevin.
That's what his wife does. She, when Diana Ross goes on tour,
Uh-huh.
she goes on tour. She's Diana Ross's right hand, and it's not just Diana Ross, other people too. This is what she does.
Right.
She
But-
earns a good living at it.
Yeah, his brother is Saul Tony,
Right.
who I used to work with in radio.
Oh, was he in radio?
Yeah.
I didn't. I never met him.
Kevin Tony was with the Blackbirds.
Right, right.
I know him.
They
Yeah.
grew up in Detroit.
That's right. That's right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I work
well,
with I work with his brother in St. Louis.
Well, that's what his wife. I didn't know his brother was in radio all these years,
Yeah.
but that's what his wife does.
Okay.
She, hair, makeup. What do you call them people? Hair, makeup, and keeping the clothes right and all of that.
Yeah.
And she earns good money doing it.
That's right. Yeah, she Carol's worked with Michael Jackson and a lot of top-notch celebrities.
Okay.
Yep. She did Michael's hair.
Not a bad gig.
Yeah. Yeah. She traveled with him all over the world.
Really?
Mhm.
I know she got some stories to tell.
Oh, yeah. Definitely. She was telling some yesterday. And
okay.
yeah, very very
Last time
incredible.
I was on your show, she was on there also. She comes all the time, huh?
Oh yeah, she's my co-host.
Oh, she's a co-host. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Co-host, sidekick, kick in the side, all that.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
do this, and now you 5 days a week, right?
That's right. 10 a.m. to noon Pacific time.
Okay. And around the world, right?
Around the world.
That's incredible, Mike.
Yep.
That's incredible.
You're being heard in all those countries you've been to.
Oh, that is incredible. You know what? It used to, we're talking to all these countries right now, and they're all listening to us. It used to take 8 to 10 to 12 hours to get over there.
Right. That's right.
Times have changed. The technology has changed. And there's a lot of good, and then there's some bad. But only people who know the bad are people like you and I, who experienced the other and really liked it.
That's right.
But these young people, 25 years old,
Right.
they don't even know what we're talking about.
That's right. Gerard Stevens down in Louisiana is listening and watching us right now. He asked me to tell you hello.
Hello, Gerard Stevens. Happy Friday to you.
You know Gerard.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I know.
He's been around the business for a long time, too.
I know. I understand.
Yeah.
Hey, a lot of us, there are a bunch of us still left, thank God.
Right.
I went to the Living Legends picnic.
You know what, man? I was supposed to go to that, and I forgot it. And Johnny Morris called me like at 5 o'clock on
He was
Saturday.
there.
Yeah, I know. He says, "Hey, man, you coming?" I said, "Coming where?" He says, to the picnic." I went, "Damn, man, why you calling me at 5 o'clock?" I was,
How come you didn't call me yesterday?
yeah, you know,
Yeah.
my mind is so busy and filled with stuff. I'm always doing something. But I definitely wanted to be there. And, Legia was out there.
Yes.
And, Belinda and Eddie and all of our friends.
Yeah.
But I forgot it.
Yeah, I understand. It's easy to do if somebody don't ring your bell 3 days before.
That's right.
I understand. So I went out and I spent a couple hours out there.
Mhm.
I saw Logan Westbrooks out there.
Yeah. How's he
man,
doing?
Huh? He's doing great.
That's good.
He's doing great. Ray Harris.
My buddy.
Yeah. What's the girl's name? Ornetta Barber. Do you know her?
Yes.
Okay. She was there with her, and her and her husband.
Uh-huh.
Man, there's a lot of people that you know was out there.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Chris Jones and a lot of the people that we know for years. That's
Yeah,
what it is.
the first and last time I was there was in
and
2013.
One of your friends is Tony. What's this radio? He's a very successful counselor, radio counselor. Like you were program director, you ran the whole thing. He did too, but he used to counsel about 6, 7 stations. His name is Tony.
Tony Gray.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was honored there at the banquet.
At the bank, which
Yeah.
I didn't go to,
Yeah.
but I went to the picnic.
Yeah. Yeah, I know Tony, of course.
I know you do.
Absolutely.
So anyway, that's what I did on that day.
And Miller London, didn't he receive an award as well?
He sure did.
Yeah.
Very deserving award.
Absolutely. A great
Yeah.
guy.
Beautiful guy, ain't he?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep.
I hate that he, that R&B report, he was really big in that, and he he did a great job. It's just the industry ran it out of business.
Yeah, the industry changed. You
Yeah.
know, the problem with most of the trade publications, it was dependent upon revenue primarily from the record labels.
Right.
And the record labels began to do cutbacks, and so those advertising dollars to promote the product, they just dried up. And I always said, I think I even mentioned it to the people at the Gavin Report, and when I was general manager over at BRE, I kept saying to the owners, listen, we got to create some new revenue streams because
Correct.
you can't depend on, a handful of record labels to be there on a regular basis
Well,
to
Lee,
cover your expenses.
They don't make the money that they used to make.
That's
Let
right.
let me tell you a story that I experienced about a year ago.
Uh-huh.
You know, I was at Warner Brothers for years,
Right.
and I went over to Warner Brothers to see a friend that I've known since the early 70s. And
Okay.
he's there, and he's working in what do you call catalog sales.
Okay.
So I go over to 3300 Warner Boulevard, right there on the Warner Brothers lot and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
When we were there, when I was working there, Lee, people was falling out the windows. It was so many people.
That's
in there.
right. Yeah.
But you got to remember, we would sell a successful record for us. We'd sell 3 million copies. If you sell 1 million copies, then from that standpoint, it was like at $8 a piece. So
Right.
if you sell 1 million, that's $8 million.
Right. A lot of cash flow.
Right. Well, they don't sell that kind of music anymore. And I
No.
went over there to the Warner Records building. I mean, this whole big building. I'm echo, echo, echo. No.
Anybody home? Home? Home?
I mean, this big building, man, wasn't no more than 15 people in the whole building.
Wow.
I'm like, damn. So that's what happened to that business.
Yeah.
That used to generate all that money. They don't generate it anymore.
No, it's done.
Yeah.
It's done.
Yeah.
And they're trying to reinvent themselves with these, what is it called, 360 deals, where they're involved in every aspect, every revenue stream that an artist might have, whether it's concerts or movies or theater or selling
Commercials.
products. Yeah, everything.
You're right.
But see, in my mind at least, I'm not sure that that's going to save them, because what do I need you for, Mr. Record Label, if I can do that myself?
A lot of people are looking at it just like what you just said.
Yeah.
If I got to spend my time and my energy
And creativity.
go around the country and creativity and go around the country and build up my own following,
Right.
and my internet following and all of that, by the time I get there, what do I need you for?
That's right.
For you to make and Lee, back in the day on the R&B side, you could take a R&B song that was a good song. Now, if it wasn't a good song, you wasn't going to be able to do nothing no way.
Right.
But you could take a good song and establish it on a national level for about $75,000. Well, today, to establish a song on the R&B level,
Right.
it'll cost you $250,000.
That's a big difference.
That's a big difference in if.
And there's still no guarantee. You're still at the crap table.
Oh man, So that's the reason why they're taking less chances now, than they used to take. Because the other thing is even if this song they were working on wasn't successful, they had another one over here selling 3 million copies. So
Right.
they're making enough money. You know what I mean?
Exactly. When they were putting out, 100 artists a year, now there's maybe
100 a
10?
year. Hey, Lee, I'll never forget this. I remember counting this up. You was in radio. I'm in the record business. The record industry released 85 records a month.
Wow.
85 a month.
That was industry wide.
Industry-wide,
Okay,
right? Wasn't
okay.
on one company.
Right,
So
right.
industry-wide, 85 records a month.
That's a lot of records.
That's a lot of records. But on the average, check this, on the average, the success stories, not all of them sold 3 million.
Of course.
But some of them sold 300,000 or 400,000.
Some sold none.
Huh?
And some sold nothing.
Not eight, I'm saying. Now, out of them 85,
Right.
40 would make it.
Exactly.
Okay? And all all 40 wouldn't make it real big,
Right.
but all 40 would make a profit.
Right. Okay.
So that means 45 didn't make a profit.
That's right.
So they can't afford to do that today.
No. And the other 45, they spent the same amount of money to market and promote those that they spent on the others.
Exactly.
So you got a high expense level.
Exactly.
So your margin of profit is not that great.
That's exactly right.
And Al Bell taught me, when I started my record label, he says, "Well, Lee, you sure you want to do this?" I said, "Yeah, man, I want to make some of that money too." He said, "Well, let me explain something." He pulled out a legal pad and drew the numbers out for me. At the end of the day, whether I was on the record label side or the artist side, it was pennies left on the table.
Yes.
By the time you go through all the expenses and the marketing, promotion, travel expenses, when he sliced and diced that $8 wholesale price, I had like 37 cents left.
Right.
But damn, maybe
Right.
I don't want to be in the record business.
Man.
You know?
man, it was definitely a gamble, but back
Yeah.
then it was a good gamble.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, but what we did though, what I used to do is once you get used to it, get good at it, and you know the ins and outs of it, I would. I'll never forget. We did an album on the Earth, Wind, and Fire called "The Promise," and I sent 3 of the songs that I felt would be single competitors for mainstream drive time radio.
Okay.
And I sent it to Donnie Simpson, sent it to these guys like you, okay, around the country.
Right.
And by the time I got the feedback back, that was
Right.
the secret to doing it. By the time I got the feedback from these guys who did nothing but program radio stations, play music radio stations every
Right.
day, then I knew what I had, then I would go for it.
That's it. You had to
see.
test the waters.
Yeah.
Yeah, no
Yeah.
question.
Test the waters with the pros, though. You can't
Yeah.
just,
Yeah, you got to test it with strategically in different parts of the country so you can get that regional difference. Because you
Right.
might find that, Donnie might have said in D.C., yeah, this is a great song. And if I was in Chicago or L.A. or New York or wherever I was at the time, I might have said, well, it might be okay. And then you might go down to Miami, and the guy in Miami says, no, this ain't going to happen down here, not here in the bottom.
Absolutely.
So,
And the other thing, Lee, that I've learned over the years, and it's true today, I'm going through this with my group, True Addiction. When you make music for R&B music, you got to go and see what's happening in Chicago, Detroit, Cleveland, St. Louis, Milwaukee, and over to Washington, D.C., and then down to Atlanta,
that's right.
and get to see where them people are, what they're experiencing, the music they're listening to, because you can
What's
make
the
some
groove?
music.
Yeah, you got to find out what the groove is in those local areas.
Right, and because you can make some music that's slamming in California, and you can't get arrested back there.
That's true.
And I know you remember this. There are songs that happened in New York that was huge in New York and couldn't get across the Hudson River.
That's right.
So,
It's so true.
so
I talk about those regional differences all the time in radio.
Okay.
And these vice presidents of programming that they don't get it, but it basically is because they're lazy.
not only are they lazy,
Uh-huh.
this is now you know more about that part than I do, but let me just say this because this is my observation of it. When I remember when you were programming radio stations, you, Keith Adams, Ernest James, all you badass program directors. What's that boy in Memphis name? Bobby O.J.
Bobby O.J.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now you got one guy programming 12 radio stations.
Or
around
40
the
or
country.
50. Yeah.
What? Yeah, but okay, how do you know what's going on 47 in Indiana if you programming a radio station for them people over there?
They don't, and they're not listening to the local program directors, and that's the problem. They're
Yeah.
sitting in the ivory tower dictating to these 40 or 50 stations,
Yeah.
and they're saying, this is what we're going to do. We're going to do the same promotion in every city,
Yeah,
and we're gonna play the same songs. You can't add anything unless I approve of it.
Oh,
In fact,
my
here are the 3 songs that we're all going to add this week.
exactly.
And I'm going, damn, you stupid.
Because Lee, I remember you programming. What is it? WBMX, I think it was.
Yep.
And I would, and you listened. I could come to town, listen to the radio station. Not only did you play the music, but you surrounded the music with local activities in the communities.
That's right.
That people could relate to.
Yeah, that's who you're programming to, the local community.
Exactly.
I wasn't programming to L.A. I was programming to Chicago.
Exactly. And these guys, so I'm this is what I see in this radio thing now, where they're just, what do you call it? They're programming by the numbers. They don't give a damn what the people want.
No, they don't. And there's a certain amount of arrogance and disrespect in these decisions that they're making. And I'll even go far as saying some ignorance. And that's why I threw in the lazy, because it's easy for a guy who is the vice president of programming for one of these major companies to sit there and dictate what he or she wants to do nationwide, because then they can relax and say, I know what every one of my stations are doing.
Right.
But I don't have to get on the phone with the guy in Atlanta and say, okay, well, what are you doing there? And let's come up with something unique and different for your market.
Right.
And then he gets on the phone with the guy in Detroit or New York or L.A. or San Francisco and have something different. But see, it's easy for them to have one boilerplate idea, then they don't have to worry about it.
You know why?
That's why I call them lazy.
You know why? Part of their job. Now check this. You know me. I went from local all the way to the top
That's
of
right.
the company, the corporate company.
That's correct.
When I was local, my responsibility was to do my job and know what was going on in the marketplace, know what was going on among the people, have direct contact with the program directors and the
Retail outlets.
The retail outlet. Right.
Yep.
Now, so that's what I had to do. When I got to the top, I got to tell you this. Half of my job was kissing ass. Half of my job.
Playing the corporate game.
Oh my God! And when you go to work, the first thing you got to do in the morning is to figure out which ass you gonna kiss today.
Say your favorite song was "Pucker Up, Buttercup." Let me kiss you one time.
I swear to God, and if you didn't kiss no ass, you wasn't gonna get nothing done.
Yeah, that's sad, man. Yeah, I know. I know.
I can imagine that a guy or a girl who is in New York programming, head of programming for Clear Channel, 70% of their job is kissing ass.
Yeah, it is true. And even the program directors today, and the music directors basically that doesn't exist anymore. But the program director is more of a cop. His main job is to make sure everybody shows up and all the logs are taken care of, and kissing the ass of the sales department, and basically implementing whatever's being dictated to them.
To them,
And that's it. You don't have to be no creative genius and come up with some great marketing and promotional ideas, and even you don't have a lot to do in the streets because the budgets have been cut back. You don't have a big promotion budget to buy T-shirts or
part of that
all
is,
that stuff.
Lee, I think the other part of that is, not to cut you off, but the other part of that is, I think when it comes to that kind of stuff, they don't really care what's going on in the marketplace.
Yeah.
When I go from, and I checked this out, 10 years ago, when I go from Chicago and then go to St. Louis and then leave St. Louis and then go to San Francisco, I'm listening at the same thing.
Yeah. That's it.
It's the same thing.
It's boilerplate, cookie cutter programming.
Exactly. That's what it is.
Yeah, and that's
unless
not good.
you run into a KJLH, which is a privately owned neighborhood radio station,
Right.
we don't have too many of them left.
Right.
Then you're going to hear some breakaway from that norm. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. You're absolutely right. And when I do tune into KJLH, I hear songs that I wouldn't hear anywhere else, and that's a good thing. And thank God Stevie Wonder, and I think his daughter is programming the station now.
That's right.
Music. So that
Isn't she wonderful?
that type of
Isn't she
exposure.
wonderful?
Yeah.
Remember that song?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
He made that song for that girl.
Oh, is that the daughter?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Wow. That's
Yeah.
see, now you see how life is. Now when we played that song on the air, that was just a baby,
That's a brand new baby.
And now she's in the world, participating in the entertainment business.
Running the
Amazing.
radio
Who
station.
would know? Who would have known, right?
Oh man, I think that's incredible.
It is.
My hat's off to him.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
another reason my hat's off to him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Did you see Michelle Obama
Yesterday?
when she walked off the stage? They're playing Stevie Wonder.
Yes. No, I didn't see the end. What song did they play?
I forget what song it was. It was definitely Stevie Wonder, though.
Was it Signed, Sealed, Delivered?
Yes.
Yeah, that was Barack's theme on his last 2012 campaign.
They love Stevie Wonder.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And
They
Stevie's
love
down with him.
Oh, ain't no question. Ain't no question.
And it's funny because there have been a number of artists that Trump has tried to use their music and they'll do a cease and desist on
No,
it.
because they don't want to be. I wouldn't
No,
want my music with him.
Oh, hell no.
I don't
The
wanna be
fallout
around.
from that would be devastating. Say, no, Donald, you're going to kill my catalog, man. Are you kidding me? You're doing a good job of destroying yourself. Leave me out of it.
Now, you know what? And I don't know what I should say. You just made me think of something, but I don't know whether I should say this on your radio station or not. But I saw the movie, the James Brown movie,
Uh-huh.
and overall, okay, from start to finish, okay, but there were some intricacies that they missed in there,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know whether you saw the movie or not.
I have not. No.
Oh, okay. Well, there's a section in there where his band quit him.
Oh, that was a regular thing.
Or the biggest reason why, and I'm going to tell you a story. When James Brown put out this song, "Say It Loud, I'm Black and
Black
I'm
and
Proud,"
proud, right?
all of the people in the black neighborhoods around the country linked into the song and locked down because the political people were saying, "You're black, I'm not. You're not a Negro, you're black," and it was changing names, right?
Right.
Well, when he got out there and he's black and I'm proud, and then the huge mistake that he made, and Maurice White of Earth, Wind and Fire and I used to talk about this all the time. He endorsed Richard Nixon
I remember that.
and went on TV with Richard Nixon.
I remember. Yeah. Yeah.
And then he did a 40 date tour, and he was the first one, Lee, that was first black artist that would have 30,000 people at his shows and
Right.
stuff.
That's right.
Because his shows was good, all the musicians and that kind of stuff, right?
Unbelievable.
Right. So when they had a 40-day tour that they was going on, you should remember this part of it. They had a 40-day tour they was going on, and he got on the TV with Richard Nixon and endorsed Richard Nixon, and they went to the show, and nobody was
showed up.
there. And all the black radio stations took his music off the radio. That's why the band quit, because he ain't had no money to pay
Yeah,
them.
they couldn't work. And I hear James was kind of tight on the money. He didn't pay
yeah.
well. So,
Anyway,
yeah.
and and fining people $50
Yeah, yeah.
for going through the wrong door and
Right.
stuff like that.
If they make a mistake on stage, he'd fine them.
Fine them, right?
Yep.
Right. So
You hit the wrong note, you done.
We used to talk about that.
Yeah,
and
he was a
Maurice-
rascal.
And right, and so I can name you 3 politicians that came to Earth, Wind and Fire, including Ronald Reagan for
An
what do you call it?
endorsement.
For endorsements.
Yeah.
Yes. And Maurice said, "No, I don't have nothing to do with none of them cats. Black,
That was-
white, or green.
That's
I don't
smart.
have-
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, that's smart.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and when you think about it, though, from that perspective, if you are an artist and you're putting out music
Mhm.
to please people, you want to please, you go into people's emotions.
Yeah,
you
exactly.
Go into people's lifestyles. Their political fires and stuff. You need to stay completely away from that.
Yeah, you have to play in that safe zone.
Hmm.
I remember when, let's see, now what was it? First run for Obama in '08. I was living in Maryland at that time, and I saw an opportunity because, he was on a real positive road in terms of his whole campaign, his message of hope and
Oh,
all of that, Obama.
oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
And I saw an opportunity for him to use a song that I thought would have been perfect for his campaign
Uh-huh.
song, and that was "Love Train" by the OJ's.
Oh, yeah.
And I saw how I could create a whole thing of the Obama train, and
Uh-huh.
I contacted Eddie Levert and asked if he would go in the studio and do a version of it called the O Train, as in
Wow.
the Obama train. He thought it was a great idea, but
Uh-huh.
he couldn't do it because he had just done a contract. I think it was with Mercedes Benz to use the song, and they had an exclusive on it.
Oh.
But I saw that as a great song to use for the campaign song. People all over the world
Yeah.
join hands, join the O Train.
Oh, man.
Hey,
Oh,
partner, how you doing?
great song.
Yeah,
Great
yeah.
song.
I thought it would have been a great tie-in, a great message.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to the Power of Voices. Oh, all the way from Kenya? Did you bring food? We'll talk. All right, that's my girl right there.
Yeah, especially if she bought food.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, one of our hosts is Kenyan, and evidently I don't know if it's family members or not, but they just got in from Kenya.
Oh,
And
okay.
yeah, I'll find out. But yeah,
Good.
hey, look, I'm all about the food.
I understand.
Bring me
Can't lose
food.
with good food, boy.
That's right. Yeah,
I understand.
that's it. Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, man. So I thought that would have been a good idea, but he loved the idea, and it just couldn't be worked out because they had already signed a contract with Mercedes Benz
I'm going to tell you something else,
yeah.
though, Lee, that
Mhm.
I've been noticing. When it comes to Obama, he's another one that has to be careful because I I talk to people, and I know a couple of your kind of people. When I say your kind of people, I mean very popular announcers, TV, radio people.
Okay. All right.
And so I ain't gonna mention no name because that might not be right. But
Okay.
I've heard them say stuff like, Obama is a black man. He ain't doing nothing for black people. People in Chicago shooting each other. They're shooting each other in Detroit, and they ain't doing. And all of this is going on in these black neighborhoods, and
Mhm.
he ain't doing nothing about it. Well, I think two things. I don't think he can afford to stand up in the White House with a dashiki on and a black glove on his hand with his
Exactly.
hand sticking up in the air.
No, it ain't gonna work.
No,
No,
because
because he ain't the black president. He's the president of the United States of America.
of the whole country,
Right.
And he got to deal with 180 other countries,
Mm-hmm.
As the representative of this whole country.
That's right. And you can't discriminate because he would be no different than a white president discriminating against another segment of the population.
Correct.
So-
Now, what he can do, though,
Mhm.
and I think he has done this if you pay attention, he has put some positive moves out there through other people to make things happen. I got to say, I do not believe, well, it didn't happen under Reagan, Bush,
Mhm.
Reagan, even Clinton. You didn't see as many on TV police shooting people. They've been shooting black folks for 30 years.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
forever, really.
Forever, really, and,
Yeah.
then they put them on, but they didn't say nothing about it. Now
No.
they're putting them on TV, and it's bringing that problem in the country to the forefront where people can see it,
Right.
and now you can do something about it because you see it.
Well, of course. And technology has made itself, available through these cell phones with
Yeah.
cameras in them. So a lot of these cops are getting busted. Plus the cameras that they wear on themselves and the dashboard cameras is now being televised.
Well, the cameras that they are wearing are the ones that I don't have too much confidence
Well,
in
that's true.
because
They can fall off and get
and
turned
not
off
only that,
accidentally.
they
or,
don't take what they want to take and all that.
exactly.
And if they take the wrong stuff, they can break the camera.
Yep. Yep.
You know.
Yep.
You know, the first thing, man, this happened out here in Chicago, I'm in California where we are, when them police beat up Rodney King.
Yeah, man.
And
I
that
remember. I
guy-
was here then.
I know you were. And then,
Mhm.
okay. And then that guy from that apartment building over there shot on his video.
Mm-hmm.
Well, do you think that was the first time they did that?
No, absolutely not.
They used to do that every week.
That's right. Every opportunity they could,
Right.
but it wasn't televised because they didn't get caught, and they
And
didn't have body cams during that time.
No, they didn't.
Mm-mm.
No, they didn't. But no, they didn't. And the only reason they got caught there was because this guy saw it happening and videoed it, and then sent them. They moved him out of town, by the way.
Oh, no kidding.
Yes.
He gotta go.
Oh, he had to go. He had to go. Okay. Now,
Yeah,
now
man.
check this, Lee Michaels. Something like that happening in the market in an area where it happened at.
Mm-hmm.
Now let's go west and go to Thousand Oaks.
Right.
Let's go to other cities that are really white areas
Mm-hmm.
that they don't have this kind of stuff in. Those people can't believe it.
Right.
If you tell them about it, they don't believe it.
No, because they never see it.
Exactly.
Yep. Out of sight, out of mind.
Now they're seeing it.
Yep.
Now they're seeing it.
That is true.
And then so then they catch a guy. They catch a guy with a bag of reefer in his pocket, and then put him in jail and give him 10 years because of a bag of reefer, right?
Right.
So in 1955 was the last day that they have on record where they lynched a black man in America. But now that they stopped lynching them, they're putting them in jail for 10 years.
Well, not only that, you're right. But see, prisons is now a billion-dollar industry, and many of these prisons are privately owned.
Uh-huh.
So it is good business to keep locking people up. Now, let me pivot here and ask you a couple of questions. You know, on the ballot on November 8th here in California, and I think maybe 10 or 15 other states, the legalization of recreational marijuana is on the ballot.
Uh-huh.
How do you think that's going to play out? First of all, do you think it's going to it'll pass? And if it does, if it is passed, how do you think that's going to change the dynamics here in California?
Okay. What I think about that is I personally voted no for it.
Okay.
And I'll tell you why in a minute. But what I see on the ballot, and it's interesting that you bring this up because I just spent yesterday 4 hours going through the book and voting, and me and my wife and my girls voted, and I'm putting it in the mail today.
Okay.
And we voted no for that
Okay.
because the whole motivation for that, Lee, is so that the state can collect $1.5 billion a year
Right.
off of the use of marijuana and the exposure of marijuana in the state.
Mm-hmm.
Well, my biggest problem with that is marijuana been around for 5,000 years. The Native Americans used to smoke marijuana in the peace pipe every day. We've been smoking reefer for all this time, and it ain't hurt nobody yet. And now we're going to make it illegal, so we have to pay more for it and pay more taxes. That's all that's about.
Of course. Absolutely. Look at Colorado.
Huh?
Look at Colorado. They're making money hand over fist.
Over fist. It's
Yeah.
all about making money.
Right.
So, and I know I'm gonna be overvoted.
But that's your choice. I mean, you voted against it, and you have your reasons for doing that.
Exactly.
Mhm.
And I'm gonna tell you another thing. I have my reasons for I voted against that, and that is on cigarettes. They got this program out where they're gonna have young people getting off of cigarettes or not getting on cigarettes.
Okay.
Well, I remember when I was young, I smoked my first cigarette at 17 years old.
Right.
My mother didn't have nothing to do with it. The police didn't have nothing to do with it. The preachers didn't have nothing to do with it. I wanted to smoke that cigarette, so I smoked it.
Right.
Now, here's the part of that I don't like. They're going to, once you vote it in and it's in, they're going to raise the price of cigarettes $2.50 a package. Now, do you think they're going to get that to them young people?
No.
Where do you think all that money is going?
No, I don't. Who knows?
It's going to the state. It's going to the rich guys. It's going to the people. Oh, Lee. Oh my God. You gotta look through the stuff that they're trying to get.
Oh, no question. No question. You got to that telephone book they sent out with all these propositions and things that we have to vote on.
Yes.
There's a lot of information to consume. Number one.
Yes.
And
Yes, it is.
I would bet 95% of the people going into that booth have not read through that information.
I agree with you 100%, and
Yep.
they're getting their information from people who they know when they're talking about it,
Yep.
and ain't none of them read up on it.
Or they don't have any idea, and they may not even vote for it at all. They may just go in and vote for the president and some other key positions, and then walk out, not even participate in that part of it.
I hear you, and you know that, and I'm glad you're talking about this over the radio, because in this election, I think it's extremely important to look through that book for all of these things that they're trying to get across. Some things are good, okay, but some of them are not in our favor.
That's right.
But the other thing is that like here in California, Miss Harris, she's running for I forget the name of the office, but those offices that are senators.
It's a congressional seat.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Now we cannot change the Congress, because that's what do you call that? It's 20-year. They changed the districts and stuff like that.
Yeah, redistricting.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, but we gotta vote for them senators as well as the president, because
Absolutely.
okay, because what's going to happen, my friend, is when Hillary gets in office and the senators are now mostly Democratical, then they're going to. They already got one that these Congress will not let the president place on the Supreme Court.
That's right.
But now, over the next 4 years, 2 more of them are going to retire.
And that's what's driving these guys crazy.
Oh, my God. You're right.
They're like losing their minds over that fact that you just stated.
Yes, sir.
Over the next 4 to 5 years, there'll probably be 3 replacements at the Supreme Court level.
And that's going to change the Supreme Court
Balance,
function
yep.
for the next 25 years.
That's right.
Now, when you look at the Supreme Court like it is, there's tree way to the right, and it's been that way since Ronald Reagan.
That's right.
And you see what they've done to the country, Lee Michaels. The jobs, they done shipped them out.
Totally. Totally.
All of that, you know.
Yeah, and many of those jobs will never come back.
They won't come back.
Never. They're just gone forever. Now I'm holding up this book that you mentioned, the California General Election, Tuesday, November 8th, 2016, Official Voting Information Guide.
Yes.
This thing is a half-inch thick.
Oh, no. Yeah.
You know?
Oh, no. And the problem is what you're saying. I spent 4 hours in it yesterday.
Yeah.
And the average person ain't going to do that.
No. You know what I'm going to do?
What?
I'm going to spend the time and go through this book, this phone book. Some cities' phone books are no thicker than this.
Right.
And I'm going to put together a cheat sheet, if you will, and that's what I'm going to take in the booth with me. So I'm going to go through the various propositions.
Yes.
And I'm going to start, let me see, what's the first one here?
Proposition
51.
51, right.
All right,
all
and I'm going to
68, 69.
I'm going to go and make a list, go through all of the numbers.
Uh-huh.
And I'm going to put a yes or no next to it in terms of how I want to vote.
That's what I did yesterday.
And and boom, that's what I'm going to do. Now I'm not voting by mail. I'm going in. I like the old-fashioned way.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm going to be out of town on voting day.
Okay.
So
you got to do it.
My vote, my wife's vote, and my daughter's vote go in the mail today.
There you go.
And I'm not telling you who I'm voting for except Hillary.
Oh, wow, what a surprise. Yeah, I think that if most people and everybody that is a registered voter should go vote, period.
No question.
But it looks like, based on the projections right now, there's no real clear path for Trump to win. unless a miracle falls out of the sky.
But there's a couple of things, though, Lee, in that book you reading there.
Yep.
I, like you, don't think Trump is going to win. We got 25, 26 days left, but let's don't take it for granted.
Oh, no,
Don't
not
go
at
to
all.
sleep.
No.
You know what I mean?
No.
And in that book you got, there's some other stuff in there, like the people I just told you about, Miss Sanchez and Miss
Yeah.
Harris.
Yes.
And these people who are running for these senates and stuff like that.
That's right.
We got to vote for those people and put them in office, because here's what's at stake more than anything, even more than the presidency. Well, it comes with the presidency.
That's right.
That Supreme Court, Lee Michaels, is so important.
It is.
Over the next 25 years is so important, because that's how they got us. And I want to tell you a story. Please let me do it. That's how they got us in the shape we in right now, with that conservative Supreme Court up there making decisions. And I swear to you, everybody in Congress, I'm looking at them as I see them, looking at them, checking them out. They're all bought and paid for by the top 5% of this country.
That's right.
Rich people. Now, let me tell you about a plane trip that I took. Me and my buddy Reggie, we took a plane trip in our plane. Went to Atlanta, Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
We left Atlanta, went to Norcross, Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
Left Norcross, Georgia, went to Tuskegee, Alabama. Left Tuskegee, Alabama, went to Pine Bluff, Arkansas. Then we went to Greenville, Mississippi.
Mm-hmm.
Then we went to Little Rock, Arkansas. Then we went to Kansas City,
Missouri?
No, Kansas City, Kansas.
Kansas, okay.
Well, they right across the street from
Right,
each other,
exactly.
Right there, right. And then we went from there to Albuquerque, New Mexico. From Albuquerque, New Mexico to Santa Fe, New Mexico, and then back to California.
Boy, y'all was zigzagging all over.
We was. And
Yeah.
it took us 10 days to make this trip.
Okay.
Now, when we got on the ground there, we knew people, and he knew some people. I knew somebody in Norcross. He got friends in Atlanta, and everywhere we went, we knew people.
Right.
So now these towns ain't no real big towns like New York and Los Angeles.
That's right.
So we driving around, and this is the point I want to get to you. We're driving around in those towns and going to, and me, because I'm a marketing guy, I've been doing it for years, I'm paying attention to stuff these other guys ain't paying no attention to.
Mm-hmm.
Lee, I see CVS, I see Walmart, I see Target, I see Home Depot, I see all of these companies that are huge companies. Now, these companies, they got these companies in Pine Bluff, Arkansas.
Right.
Walmart. Did I say Walmart?
Yes, you did.
Okay. They done run all them small companies out of business.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And everybody going over to these big stores to shop and work.
That's
now,
right.
Here's the trip about CBS. I'm talking to this guy in Norcross, Georgia, who worked for CBS. And he told me, he says, I work for CBS, and I make $13 an hour.
Okay.
Well, when they get through taking out the taxes and all that kind of stuff, I'm winding up with $9 an hour.
Mm-hmm.
But I can only work 30 hours a week. After 30 hours a week, they cut me off.
That's right.
Because now
They don't have to pay the medical benefits and all that.
all of that stuff. You know what I'm
you're
saying?
considered part-time.
Everybody there is part-time.
Yeah.
Now, not only that, if you work at that CVS, you have to live at least 15 miles or more from that location.
Why?
Because if you live around the corner, you're going to be giving all your partners deals and shit. They're going to...
Like your partners in your neighborhood won't drive to get that deal. Come on. Really?
I swear to God, that's the reason why they're doing that.
Oh, that's nuts.
Oh, he's telling me the whole thing, man. So I'm like, damn, okay.
Wow.
Point is, my friend, you ain't going to never get rich.
No, not with a job.
Not with that kind of job.
No.
And if you ain't got Obamacare, you ain't got no health care.
That's true.
Because they ain't giving you none. Now, when you're 25, 30, 35 years old, you don't even think about that kind of stuff. When
Right.
you get up them 55s and 60s,
That's right.
you start thinking about it because you know you're going to need it.
That's right.
You see?
Yeah.
So now all of that experience traveling over there like that, and I saw this in every town I named to you.
Yeah. Yeah. You're right.
So now family, prescription, and drugstores, you don't see them no more.
Mm-hmm. No. No, the little mom and pop stores are gone.
No, yes, you
Uh-huh.
see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But the mom and pop stores are gone, but the big stores are working the people, but they ain't giving them. They ain't giving them what the people need.
No. No. They're not going to. They don't have to.
No, well, they gonna have to if we change the rules and vote the right people in up there.
Well, that's true. That's the only way that's going to change. But at
Yeah.
this point, all of the lobbying that's being done by these major corporations have got these congressional members under their thumb. They're bought and paid for. See, I'm for term limits, but that's never going to happen because the members of Congress have to vote that in, and they're not going to vote themselves to be limited.
No.
They want to be career politicians. They want to stay there until they die.
Right.
And
You're right.
that's not. I don't think that's in the best interest of the country. And see, Congress, after Roosevelt, he was in what, 4 terms?
Yes.
That was the last president that had that ride. Congress changed the rules so it limited the president to 2 terms, but they didn't put themselves in that same bucket. See?
No, they sure did.
So,
And I'll be honest with you. No, I ain't gonna be honest with you because only because when it goes to FDR, I think he did a good job for the American people.
right.
I don't, and I'll tell you who else did a good job for the American people. Eisenhower.
Yeah, my dad was an Eisenhower supporter, and
Eisenhower.
my mom was not, but he was.
Okay.
Yeah.
He was a Republican, but I
That's
saw
right.
this. I saw this with my own eyes, Lee Michaels.
Okay.
This man put the interstate and the expressways and the freeways, he put them all across the country.
That's right.
Put the people to work. And the what do you call it, people? Like a lot of the countries, the states now hire these big firms to do the jobs. And he was hiring local people working for
The government, wasn't it?
Yeah.
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 Now it's all privatized.
Privatized with the big guys.
That's right. Major construction companies get those jobs now.
And the small construction companies cannot compete with them
No,
guys.
no.
You see?
They have to be subcontractors to the big boys.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, Richard Nixon shouldn't have been president in the first place, but what I'm trying to say is if I get a Jimmy Carter, let me give him more than 4 years because I believe, honestly, you really can't do nothing in 4 years, no way.
Yeah.
Not nothing big.
Yeah,
Boy,
and the second term, if you're lucky enough to win a second term, then half of that second term you're a lame duck. So you get 2 more years. So really, you got 6 years of hitting it hard.
Yeah.
And if you got the Congress is not in your favor, you're not going to get much done. As much as Barack has been able to do against all odds. Just think if he was able to keep Congress in his favor, how much more would have been done.
Oh my God! And you just said now, Barack, but his intentions are beautiful, are great. He's for the country. Now, if you want to give a president 4 terms, he's the kind of guy that I want to see with 4 terms.
Right.
And not because he's black,
No.
but because he's intelligent and he's for the people of America, no matter what your race is.
That's right.
You see?
I agree with you.
And now, so I pray to God we can replace him with Hillary because if we do, Lee, we're not replacing Obama. It's just an extension.
An extension.
of
Yeah,
that
I
seat.
agree with you, and I think most intelligent people see it that way. And even those that are haters of Hillary, they know that that's what it will be, and they hated him so much that they don't want to see that happen, even though it's in their best interest. Look at the 20 million people that have some form of health care today that didn't have it.
Absolutely.
It's unfortunate that our Congress passed a bill, and the only way they would pass it is with these caveats or these modifications that they were influenced by the special interest groups, meaning the insurance companies, the pharmaceuticals, and the hospitals and the doctors, all made them put these loopholes in the bill whereby after 2 years, the cost factor could be increased by 1% per month and even higher in some instances. So that was the only way the bill could get passed. Now,
Correct.
our hope is, and the Republicans want to eliminate it and put it back into the private industry for insurance coverage. But listen, what makes you think that if you deleted Obamacare and say, okay, insurance companies, now it's back in your hands, so you guys be good boys and come on and give us some good deals here and keep the price down, you think they're going to do that?
No, they don't want to do that. And
No, not unless
only-
you got
and-
a gun to their heads.
And right, and be more explicit when you come to Congress, please, sir. That those people didn't influence Congress. They told them what to do because they work for them.
Yeah, that's right. They dictated to them because they say, look, here's what I need you to do. And if you do, then I'm going to make sure that we get a significant amount of funding to you in your next election.
Plus, you already owe me for what I already gave you. Do what I tell you to do.
Right now.
Otherwise, we'll blast your ass out of there.
That's right. We'll flip the script. Put somebody else in there to do our job.
Our job. Exactly.
But
right.
see, what these congressional members need to understand that they work for us.
Uh-huh.
Okay? And we have to become more intelligent voters.
There you go.
Okay?
There you go. Yeah.
And listen, I'm for giving them one freaking term. If you don't do what I say do, then you're out. Vote them out.
Absolutely.
I don't care whose son you are or daughter or your
Absolutely.
relationship with somebody else, your history.
Yes. I'm with you 100%. And if you are doing for the people, okay, then the people reelect you.
Right.
But
You've earned it.
exactly.
Because I can't keep my job if I don't do a good job. They'll blow me out in the New York second.
Yes, they would.
Yeah.
Yes, they would.
So why is it any different if you're a congressional member, Senate or
Because
House?
those guys, like you say, and the other reason that I see coming down the line next 2-3 years that Hillary and her team can accomplish is make Obamacare wider spread and more
it needs to be modified.
affordable.
Yes,
More
absolutely.
affordable.
Absolutely.
Those guys in Congress and have intentionally jacked the price so they could cut it to pieces and turn it down. But you know what? They've been able to get away with this stuff for a while now, but I think it's harder for them now because white folks across America are suffering.
Yeah. I mean, it's not just people that look like you and me. It's everybody. Everybody's feeling the pinch.
Everybody
and
that's
it needs to be
middle class.
fixed. That's right. It needs to be fixed.
You're
See,
right.
I forget about color lines when it comes down to health care and education and all of that. The bottom line is we are intelligent people. We have the resources. We can make this system so much better, both on the educational level, affordable education. If we want to continue to be the world power, then we need to make sure that we are educating our youth because that is the future. Where do you think the technology came from that we're enjoying today? From young people.
Young people. No
Young,
question.
brilliant minds coming up with creative things. And we have to keep that pipeline wide open.
Yeah.
And if we don't, and there are a lot of smart people that just can't afford to go to school. So we got to make sure that they have that opportunity.
That's another thing that we have to address, and the Republicans will never address it because they put it there. To go to school and get you a degree, and then you owe $150,000.
That's criminal.
Oh, man.
That's like coming out of school with a mortgage.
Exactly.
So you can't go out and buy a house. You can't go out and get a decent apartment or buy a car.
Because you got to pay this loan off.
That's right. And then
you can't go bankrupt on the loan.
That's right. And then what's really crazy is what I've gone to school for and I have a degree in, now I can't find a damn job in it.
Right.
So I've got to take a secondary position or tertiary even or any kind of job. I end up working for Walmart for $13 an hour.
With my smart ass.
Right. With a degree.
Exactly. So.
How's that work?
Oh, it's wrong. That's how it's working. It's wrong.
It is.
Okay, so now this is me, my personal feeling, because I've had the experience in life that I've had. And because of the experiences that I've had and looking back, I can look forward, and my perspective as I look forward the next 25 years,
right,
I swear to God to you, Lee Michaels, I believe this. I think that black people, especially black women who are telling their young black men, get a degree so you can get a good job. That is not right. You can get a degree, but before you get the degree, figure out what you want to do, what you want to be, what do you want to function as.
Right.
Don't just go get no degree. Get a degree and going on what you want to do. If you want to be an electrician, if you want to be a whatever you want to be, because to me, the future of black men, the next 25 years, is entrepreneurialism. You can go and get a degree, and you're going to be an engineer, and you're going to go over to this big-ass company and get a job as an engineer. And what happens is 20 people looking for one job. The first 20 people, and I'm telling you now, first 20 people, the first of the 20 is 9 white folks.
Mm-hmm.
Then the next 5 people is Asians or Mexicans or whatever. By the time you get to the door to compete for the job, you number 17. You ain't going to get that job. And I know what I'm talking about. I had a conversation with a guy.
Yeah.
Watch this. I had a conversation with a guy who works for the gas company of here in Los Angeles.
Okay.
I had a problem with my main valve. So in order to get the main valve done, we could do it, but now I had to have it signed off by the gas company to give it to the city so that the building and safety would
Approve it. Yeah.
Approve it. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So and the guy came over and he was a brother,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm talking to him. I said, "Man, how long you been with these people?" He said, 34 years. I said, "Damn, that's good. He said, "But things are changing." I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "They just hired 50 people last month." I said, "Really?" He said, "Yeah, but only 3 of them was black.
Mm.
Out of 50.
Mm.
You hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Come on, man."
Mm. And
So,
now, is this to do the same type of job that he's doing?
yeah.
Wow. So there's an increase in demand.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So there's some that says growth.
Yes.
Now, this was a private company?
No, the gas company.
The gas company. Okay.
Of California,
Yeah.
Los Angeles.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, the Los Angeles Gas Company.
Yeah.
But you got to look at this, Lee Michaels. In 1970, there was 3 million people in Los Angeles.
Mm.
In 1980, there was 6 million.
Mm-hmm.
Today, there's 11 million.
Right.
They expect 11 million more in the next 25 years.
Mm.
All them people going to be using gas and water and shit.
That's right.
You know what
That's
I mean?
right. Yeah. They
But if
they
they're
need to
gonna
rebuild the infrastructure now to be prepared for the growth.
That's why you see
Yeah.
over there on Crenshaw, they're building trains and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna need to build trains and specific bus routes. What I mean by
Yes.
that is,
Yeah, I understand.
Okay?
Yeah.
Do you see the bus route that leaves from Hollywood and goes across the valley to where'd it go to? Goes over to Thousand Oaks.
Okay.
Now you get on the bus in Hyde Park, and you get on that bus, and it goes down its own street. So there ain't no traffic. It's just buses on.
Wow.
Yeah, it goes down its own.
It's like a train track.
It's like a train track. It just got
Buses only.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Oh yeah. And now and a lot of people use it. So now you need that. Now watch this. You need that coming from Santa Clarita down to LAX.
Yeah, that's true.
That 405, man, you know what I
Ooh,
mean?
that's
You
a
can
mess.
Walk, huh?
That 405 is a mess. It's a
You
parking
can
lot
walk.
sometimes.
You can walk faster than they can drive.
That's true. And so, yeah, 8 o'clock at night is bumper to bumper.
Yes.
It's nuts.
So now when you see all that population growth, there's a demand that's going to be
Yeah.
for a lot of things.
That's true.
So but I'm telling you, the way they're hiring,
Mm-hmm.
they ain't hiring who we would like to see them hire. At least give me 5 out of 50.
10%, huh?
You know what I mean? I ain't asking for all of it. Give me 5, okay?
Yeah, we're still talking about fairness,
Yeah.
and fairness is not in the mix.
No, it ain't. No, it ain't. No, it ain't.
Balance and fairness is not there.
And don't get me wrong, Lee Michaels. I am not against white people, and I definitely ain't against Mexicans.
No.
Okay, but there is, when you look at the Mexicans, right?
Mm-hmm.
When Reagan was elected president 35 years ago, we had 2 million Mexicans in America.
Right.
Today we got 65 million in America. Now, do I dislike Mexicans? No, I think they're great people. But the reason why we have them over here is because when you go to Mexico, there's only 2 classes over there.
Yep.
As
Poor and rich.
Real rich and the real poor.
Yeah, that's true.
And them people are struggling over there, man.
Yeah, it's ugly.
And they are doing the same thing today that we did when we was getting out of Mississippi, Arkansas, and Tennessee, back up in there where they was working. There was plenty of work. They worked the hell out you all day long.
That's true.
And pay you 50 cents a day.
Yeah.
And then they started going north.
That's right. The migration kicked in.
Exactly.
Well, Ron, I'm looking forward to getting together with you and the girls tomorrow.
Okay.
And we're going to have a good time.
Okay.
Hanging out and eat some food.
You put me out. You put me off.
Well, yeah, the show is over, bro.
Oh, man, you know what? I was thinking, hey, man, I'm glad that I was able to hang with you, and I hope I didn't embarrass you.
Oh, no, not at all. We had a good time.
Okay.
All right.
You.
See you tomorrow. Okay, partner. Well, that's it for another week, folks. Here on thepowerofvoices.com, live on Facebook and YouTube. And don't forget to download the app for your iPhone or your Android. We got you covered. We'll see you again on Monday morning, 10 a.m. for another week of great talk radio. And if you want to have your own show, you can contact us. Go to the website, thepowerofvoices.com. Fill out the form, and someone will get back to you and get you hooked up. You can have your own show right here on this fantastic network that's growing leaps and bounds. We're ahead of stations that have been around since 2008. I ain't bragging, but hey, I'm just saying. We're rocking like that. All right, have a good weekend. Love you. Take care.